There are two different ways for an instructor to leave feedback to a student for something that's submitted on Blackboard. Uh, First off, what I want to do is I want to talk about what students can submit on Blackboard and kind of what that looks like. So essentially, there are kind of two ways that a student can submit a file onto Blackboard for us to mark those files. And one is actually through an assignment. So on Blackboard, you can program an assignment and the students will do work and then they'll upload that assignment, as I think you know. So when that happens, that's one way that a student can submit something. The other is actually during a quiz. So if you've designed a quiz, whether it's your midterm or your final or whatever it is, or if it's just a quiz somewhere, the students can actually do work and then somehow that has to be scanned in some way. Actually, I get my students to take pictures of them, place them into Word, and then save it as a PDF so that they can upload the PDF. But there are other ways, of course, if they've got a scanner. However it is, during a quiz, students are able to upload work to the quiz as something called a file response. So when you're building a quiz, you have like a multiple choice and all of these other things. One of those things is file response. Now, the reason I'm mentioning those two things is because you can give feedback for those two things. So during an assignment, if they submit work, then yeah, there's a space for you to put feedback. Now, I did mention there are two kinds of feedback, and I'll get into that. But again, during a quiz or an exam or whatever that you've programmed as a quiz, if the student wants, they can actually write stuff on paper, maybe their work, or they want to show you how they formulated something, or they actually have to draw something. And then they submit that, or they maybe even actually, they may have to use some kind of software that they're using and then submit the file. So then you can look at that. As far as, and then, sorry, in that case, you could also give feedback directly to the student. I'm going to show you how to do the two types of feedback that I'm talking about. And I'll also show you how the students view your feedback. Okay, let's jump into Blackboard. Okay, in this case, I'm being the student. I'm going to submit my assignment. So there's an assignment here, report structure, and I see that submission area is here. That's fine. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to go find my assignment. I'm just going to click on some formula sheet and submit it. Here we go. So I'm submitting that, and then that's done. So I'm a student, and I'm done, and I'm going to say, okay, and then that's done. I move on. Now, I'm the instructor now, and I'm going to mark that. So let's actually exit the preview. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into here. Down here, I've got actually these smart views. I'll do another video on smart view for sure, but I've got a smart view just for assignments. So I'm going to click on that, and that brings me to my grading sheet where I can see, oh, a student has submitted something. Let me go in here and I'm going to grade this, and I'm also going to give feedback. So I'm going to view attempt. Now, I will also do, at some point, I'm going to do another video on how to make a marking rubric. I'll just jump through this. I've got a marking rubric. I can just click here, here, and then I didn't like his introduction, whatever, the circuit schematic, whatever. So these are all, this is a long one. I don't regularly have all of my rubrics this long, but I did. So there you go. So I'm saving my rubric. Now, if I want, I can type stuff in here. Now, over here, I've got this marking sheet where I've got all of these comments that you're generally going to use, and you know you're always going to be saying certain things like that. So I'm going to drop this in here. Now, this is the feedback. I did say there were two kinds of feedback. This is one type of feedback. So you take the work, you see the work here, and you look at it, you evaluate it here, and you thought, oh, you know, the student didn't do this, or he did this, or that's excellent. You can use the rubric, or you can just scan through and say, that's perfect, and you can just do this. Good job. But if you need to leave some feedback, then you can leave it here. Now, the second type of feedback that you can do is you go down here and you click on this. Click on that, and you can insert a file. And that file is going to be whatever. This is going to be, here we go. So this is the file that I'm inserting. So they can see I'm actually inserting an actual drawing, and they can see, no, this is how you do PDF. You didn't do it in your assignment properly, and then you can say, you know, see the work below, and you can also insert a PDF if you want. I can insert this PDF, and then I can submit that. Now, let's go take a look at how the student sees this. I'm going to jump into my student mode. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go, okay, I'm a student. I'm going to take a look at my grades, and I can see, yeah, my report structure has been graded. Let me go see what Professor Lars did. Okay, here we go. Oh, now what's going on here? They can actually see the feedback here. Oh yeah, I forgot to put the brackets in my formulation, right? So they know that. Plus they can say, oh, there's the actual image there. Now they can't actually download this. They can say copy image if it's an image if they want, and then take a look at it. But they can also click on this and they can say, okay, there's some submission. So there's some information, and whatever this is, you can maybe the right answer, or maybe you've actually taken their work, you've downloaded their work, and then you've opened up that work, you've actually made notes on that work, you've actually gone in here and edited the work, and or you've printed it out and you've made corrections and you've scanned it, and then you upload it. I mean, if you're going to go through all of that, that's cool. You can do that. And you can upload it. So you can upload the proper and or the proper results. I don't think I've ever done that. But sometimes I have taken simulations that they've done, like we have an Automation Studio simulation, which is for pneumatics. I download it, and what I'll do is I'll actually fix it a little bit, or I'll do something to that file, and then I'll reload it. Just say, hey, I fixed that, because I may want to make a comment that's really important, like, oh, you're almost there, just this one thing, and I'll fix it. I'll make a note here. Oh, by the way, you know what? Check out this actual file here. I fixed it for you. There you go. So that's how that's done. Any more questions? Just leave some comments.